Welcome back, Whisky fans. December the 4th. Let's jump straight in. Day number 4 in the bottom left. Oh no, come on. I told you, I praised this one for being easier to open. I knew it was going to come back to bite me. Oh, come on. Don't stand between a malt enthusiast and his whiskey. It's not going to end well. Right, let's do another blind one. Label away. Break the seal. Make a mess. Get most of it in the glass. Take the varnish off the table, because you're doing it blind and you can't see if you've poured it everywhere. You know the drill. What have we got today then? That looks significantly paler than the other three that we've had. Beautiful natural looking colour. So what does that tell us? Unlikely to be much sherry in there. Probably youngish. Very nice. Lovely, definitely a bourbon matured whiskey on this one. Initial impressions reminds me of the old, back when Balblair used to do their vintage releases, they used to do one that was about 10 years old, matured in a bourbon cask. It quite often had that light blue colour scheme. Fantastic whiskey from Balblair, really miss that. It's a shame they don't do it anymore. Reminds me a bit of that. Very lactic, creamy, vanilla, cream. Sweet, slightly sugary, sweetened, creamy milk. Maybe a slight citrus note. But really creamy, honey, perhaps a little bit of tangerine maltiness. Hopefully this is the kind of thing that runs at about like this kind of similar price to what you used to get those 10-year-old Balblairs for. If this sells for about 40 quid a bottle, I can see myself buying a bottle of this. Very straightforward bourbon maturation, done incredibly well. Really, really good body. Definitely 46%, or perhaps a little bit higher. I could see this being 47 or 48. Lovely astringency on the palate. Sort of mouth puckering, sharp sweetness on the palate. I can see this being the sort of thing that a lot of people overlook, whatever it is. You can see it being sold as like a 8 to 10 year old bourbon matured standard expression, and people kind of overlooking it. But there's certainly bucket loads of enjoyment to be had out of a standard bourbon maturation like this. Quite a dry note. I am wondering if there's either a little bit of virgin oak or perhaps something weird like the chocolate malt that they used on the Ardbeg Ardcore, something like that, adding a little bit of dryness in. A little bit of a dry, spicy note, although that could just be coming through from some bourbon casks. Possibly a mix of first and refill bourbon casks. But that is exactly my cup of tea. Lovely, lemony, malty, lactic, creamy. Fantastic. honey, creamy, oaky. It's standard whiskey, but far from boring. So what do I think this is? I think it's Scotch. It could be a world whiskey, but I think this is Scotch. And the thing that really comes to mind is Balblair. But really, something like this, it could be made by probably 60 or 70 different Scotch distilleries. But the one that springs to mind that have made something like this, it's Balblair. Seems like it's got Highland written all over it, in my opinion. Highland, or possibly one of the more dry, austere lowland distilleries, maybe a Bladnoch, like a 10-year-old bourbon matured Bladnoch. But I really like that. Let's see what it is. Spice King 12-year-old Highland and Islay. 52%. So I was right when I said 46% or maybe a couple of percent higher. It's 52%, which explains why it's packed full of flavour and carries those flavours nicely. Doesn't seem like 52%. Very, very drinkable. I hope that's affordable, because I really like that. And it's from Weems Malt. Wemyss, Weems. Spice King 12-year-old. So the fact that they call that Spice King, are they saying that this has been matured in European oak? Because I'm not getting a huge amount of spiciness. Let's do a little bit of research. So it's on Master of Malt, £37.94. So yeah, 52%, comes in a nice box, nice dumpy round bottle, the kind of thing that they used to sell Highland Park in back in the day. Limited release from Weems Malt. Edition of Spice King includes a combination of 12-year-old Highland and Islay malt whiskies with plenty of spice, citrus. Yeah, got that citrus on there. A little bit of spiciness, but I think I'll describe it as a dry oakiness rather than overtly spicy. Floral smoke. Not sure about that. These two regional styles are combined rather nicely. Well, I agree with that. I'll be perfectly honest, I have not had that one before, completely unaware of it, but at 52% and 38 quid, that is a proper banger. Wonderful. Perhaps a slight musty kind of peaty note, but not overtly smoky or spicy. But just really solid whiskey. I think possibly any smokiness that is there, I interpreted as just a little bit of mustiness on the nose, and what you're getting on the palate could very easily be a little bit of barrel char and a little bit of that dry oak that I mentioned. Definitely not an obviously smoky whiskey, in my opinion. You guys might disagree if you've had this, but that's definitely one that I'm going to be adding to my list of whiskies to buy. 38 quid, 52%, excellent value. If we can have a few more of those, yes please. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Cheers.